Hi everyone and welcome to the French Watch Collector. Today on the bench, it's my first Blancpain watch. You see a Cyclotron 53 joules. That's amazing, 53 joules, that's huge. And yeah, you see this watch, you hear the noise. That's not really good. It's not working, so there is a lot of stuff that I want to see in this watch. First is how can you fit 53 joules in a watch here? That's the first question, and obviously the watch is not working, so we have a lot of work to do on this watch, and you can see it's in quite a bad state, yeah, very dirty, scratched. Yeah, so let's get crack on and see what we can do with this beautiful Blancpain watch. First, I'm gonna use my custom press from Morotech to open this watch. Put a link down below if you want to buy these tools. They are great tools from Morotech and they looks amazing as well, being custom made. Just gonna open the case back. Just move a bit there. Just make it a bit more tight and we should see what we can find inside. Like I said, this is my first Blancpain, so I'm really curious to see what we can find inside this movement. Okay, so this is a Blancpain R300. And wow, look at the weight, the oscillating weight from the automatic winding system is strange. Like you have an entire ring turning around the mechanism. Yeah, there's not much play. It's like full gold color. It's quite nice actually. It looks very nice. See inside the case back, the Blancpain logo. Okay, so let's try to remove this huge rotor. So I'm removing the system that's keeping it in place first. But yeah, you see, no, like it's trapped inside the caliber. Like we have this ring around, trapped inside the caliber, so I cannot remove the rotor. We'll have to figure it out. Oh, we need to be disassembled. You see, there is a hole there where I can get access to the screw for the winding stem that I just removed right now. And here we go. We should be able to remove. And wow, look at the dial. It's in very nice condition. Just remove the hand there. Put them in this little box. And yeah, look. Oh, wow. You open like this case in two parts and inside. Look at all the joules. That's why you have so many joules, like on 53 joules. You have joules all around the winding system. That's a very interesting way to have a winding system actually sliding inside of a rail, if you want, around the caliber. And I'm counting 15 joules on each side. So it means that 30 joules. So already on a 53 joules, you have 30 joules, which is just for this winding mechanism. So after you are left with 23 joules, which is more or less standard. It's like a standard number on a watch. See the windows as well there for the date. Not looking very good. We'll see if we can fix that a bit later on when we put it back together. But the dial is in very good condition. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, we're gonna disassemble the mechanism. And you remember, this watch was not working, like the second was not ticking. So yeah, might be something wrong with this watch, or just very old oil or grease which is fully dry and keeping the watch from not running. It's quite dirty as well, the mechanism, like a lot of black marks. You can see there like on the balance cock from the balance assembly. Really like the color. I really like to work on calibers which are gold or copper color. Is so nice, so nice. And you see the perlage underneath, which is all these circular rounds made with machining, which yeah, decorate the caliber, which is very nice. You see a lot of dried up grease or oil, I don't know, like you see all this black stuff there. So you see, that's why we are disassembling everything right now. We want to disassemble everything to make sure everything gets clean later on in a cleaning machine, and all this grease, dirt, oil get removed. And obviously we put brand new grease and oil when we put it back together, when we reassemble the mechanism, but very dirty. Moving the bridge there, very tight. The bridge are very tight on this watch as well. Ooh, see, you just jump there. Didn't go very far. Removing the wheels, the train of wheel. When you see it's a bit stuck inside, a bit tight, don't want to use any threads because you don't want to bend the pivot point. Just removing the rest now. We have the barrel bridge on top there, we are removing, just keeping the barrel assembly in position. And again, you see it's quite dirty, yeah? And you see the barrel assembly is stuck to the bridge, yeah? So we get it away from each other. And we have a sub bridge, if you want, where we have this center wheel in position. And we have this wheel which is under the barrel assembly, which is, yeah, that's very strange. And you see like you have a strange wheel inside the wheel, like a bit of a clutch, like the clutch on a keyless fork. Okay, so now we move to the dial side. Gonna remove the date mechanism first. Removing these two plates. Underneath there we have the jumper for the date. Can remove the date ring. And we have the wheels driving the date mechanism. Pretty simple. And a keyless fork. Again, see a lot of dark matter there, like grease or oil. I need to get clean. Removing the yoke spring here. Okay, so that's it. We removed all the parts. We just getting now the jewels out of the way. Again, that we will clean in a little basket separately later on in a cleaning machine. The jewel from the shock springs. Shock setting. Now I just disassemble the winding mechanism. You see, pretty simple. With like a bridge there and looks like 3 wheels inside. Obviously some wheels being reversing wheels, just to make sure, like, again, you wind in both directions. If the rotor is turning in both directions, you will still wind the watch obviously in one direction. That's a reversing wheel there. Opening the barrel assembly. Check what's inside and to remove the mainspring. When I'm taking the mainspring out of the assembly, out of the barrel. Yeah, the mainspring looks good. You see him being automatic with a V shape at the end. Just do a gentle polish on some of the pivot point of the train of wheel, just to remove any dried up oil or grease. And again, all the parts will go in these little baskets and inside the cleaning machine, just to make sure all the parts are fully clean. And we remove, you saw, like all these dirt that was on the movement, because obviously that affect timekeeping on the watch. And if it get like to a point where it's very bad, you can stop the watch from running, can prevent the watch from running. So yeah, that's why you want to have clean parts. So we're gonna clean the parts first in a cleaning solution. After we put it through 2 rinsing solutions, and we will finish by a drying cycle. I would like to use this opportunity to tell you that I have a Patreon page. You can find a link down below in the description. And you can join my existing patron: Philippe, Roger, Matt, Christian, David, Shelby, Jan, Rune, Christian, Cornet, Alan, David, Tony, Steven, John, Tim, and Gregory. Thank you so much, guys, for supporting the channel. If you want to join the group, like I said, you will find the link down below in the description. And yeah, you can go there and support the channel on my Patreon account. And if you did not subscribe to the channel, again, you can click on the subscribe button. Click on the thumbs up if you like the video. It will help to promote the patient to other people. And you can click on the bell icon. You will get a reminder. I put a video once a week, so you will get a reminder every time I put a brand new video on the channel. Okay, so now that the parts are clean, first step, gonna do a quick epilem treatment on some of the parts. The jewels, the cap jewels, escape wheel and pallet fork. Gonna dry them now. Removing some of the epilem from the pivot point. And now I'm just putting a drop of 9010, which is the thinnest oil that I use in a watch movement, on the cap jewel there. And we put the chaton back on top. There we go. And the drop of oil is trapped inside. Do the same thing on the second jewel. And now we can place back the jewels on the balance assembly in a shock setting. So like that, the balance staff, which is the pivot point of this beautiful wheel there, is fully lubricated in 9010 oil. And you see I'm just trying to put the spring. Quite tricky to do it on camera because I don't want to move the angle. Again, I just need to get a bit more angle. Just need to go in a groove underneath. There we go, perfect. And now on the dial side, do the same thing. Place the jewels on the balance staff there. And we can close it. Perfect. Yeah, the balance is moving nicely. The hairspring is looking good. Look at this beautiful movement. I love the color, and now that it's fully clean. Nice. Okay, I'm just going to reassemble the mainspring assembly there. Just being an automatic, I will put some graphite grease on the wall there because obviously being an automatic is always winding with the movement of your wrist, so it will slide against this wall. So that's why we put a bit of graphite grease. And now I'm just gonna rewind the mainspring. And I don't know if you noticed, but actually this mainspring is wind in, let's say, not a normal direction. It's wind anti-clockwise and not clockwise. So for this I use, yeah, you see the blue spot on the winder there, which is for anti-clockwise winding on the mainspring. Okay, so now I'm just going to remove this lever there and the mainspring will be fully wound inside. And now it's back in place, perfect. Just putting a bit of grease as well on the lid there. Parallel arbor. And now we're going to close this assembly. With a gentle press on the top there. Perfect. Oiling all the pivot points. So you will see me using a lot my automatic oiler there. Putting a medium viscosity oil on a lot of parts. Again, just to make sure the friction is reduced to a minimum between parts which are in contact, metal against metal. This will help with the amplitude of the watch. Basically the health of the caliber, if it's running nicely or not. You want to reduce the friction to a minimum. And actually, yeah, like I said, this is my first Blancpain watch, and I did not find many information on this watch, the Cyclotron. Obviously, there's a very interesting way of being an automatic watch. You see the automatic system. and especially the oscillating weight of the system is very particular. So if you have any information on this model and on this watch, please share your knowledge about this. I'll be very happy to see in your comment the knowledge on this watch, on the history of this caliber. Yeah, that's what we are here as well, is to share our experience and knowledge on watches, on watchmaking. So please, if you have some information, do share in a comment, share to the community. That would be very nice. Okay, so the barrel assembly is in place now. Just going to put back together the train of wheel. There we go. And now I'm putting the bridge on top, where I need to align all the pivot points in these jewels. You see, this is this pink color stones that you see. The famous 53 jewels on this watch. And when we disassemble the watch, we did not see anything bad with the watch or preventing the watch from running. So hopefully when we put it back together, and now you see me putting new oil and grease in the different spots where you need to be put, I hope the watch will run again. And you see, like, this part is much cleaner compared to when we disassemble the watch. Reverse threaded, you see, like I put the screw like if I were unscrewing normally, so that you need to be really careful on the crown wheel when you have one screw in the center. 99% of the time is reverse threaded. Oiling the jewel there again to reduce the friction to a minimum between all these pivot points. And now I'm starting the assembly of the keyless work. Putting back the winding stem there, and you see me using this blue grease, which is a high viscosity grease, because you see a lot of tension between the parts on this side of the caliber. Screwing the setting lever from the other side, and again there you see me oiling all the different pivot points. We're gonna put some wheels later on. Putting the yoke. And that's a spring that put a tension there in the side of the movement. That's why we put a lot of grease. It's quite tricky to put in position. You see it's moving, like the yoke is moving every time. Yeah, that's it. Not yet. Here we go. It's in position now. Putting the cannon pinion, which is friction mounted there. Yes, in position. Setting lever spring, she's kept in place with a screw. Now we just arm the spring here and gonna lubricate, because you see that's what will give you the click feeling when you pull on a winding stem on the crown between the time setting and the winding position. And the last part there, I keep the minute wheel in position. Okay, just checking everything is working. Yeah, it looks good. Putting the pallet fork and the pallet fork hooks that come on top. It's gonna try to align. Yeah, see, just dropping down there, aligning the pivot point in the jewel. And obviously now we're getting close to the moment of truth. We're gonna put off a bit of a wine, oil the palette jewels, and we're gonna put, yeah, the power is coming now. And we're gonna put the balance wheel in position and see if the movement went to start or no. And you remember, this movement was not working, so let's see if we manage to restart this nice caliber. So far it doesn't, oh yeah, just started perfect. Just need to very gently, you see, put the balance bridge fully in position. Again, it's very tight, this balance bridge. Don't want to bend or damage the balance staff. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so now I'm gonna do a quick treatment on the reversing wheel with some Lubetta, which is a lubrification special for reversing wheel. So I'm gonna dry them first. And I'm gonna put them back together. These little sub-assemblies, which is very simple. Placing this tiny bridge, you see, with the 2 jewels there. And again, I'm gonna oil all the jewels. And now we can gently, and you see there's a Rollmatic. They put a patent on it, so it was pending at the time, I don't know after. But yeah, again, it was a very strange way to do a winding system. Not really cost efficient, I guess, with the number of jewels which is on it. And the material as well, which was huge, because it was like a lot of material used to do this rotor with all this ring around. So probably, yeah, again, not the cheapest way to do it. Okay. Finishing oiling all the point, and now we can put back the calendar mechanism, which is pretty simple on this watch. Our wheel in position. Place this intermediate wheel, which is kept in place with a screw. And I'm gonna put the date ring. Use the jumper there. Putting the spring for the jumper. And now we can finish by putting these plates that will keep all the mechanism in position. And a date ring, obviously, as well. Perfect. I just put back the window, actually, like the date window. You remember it was a bit crooked when we got the watch, and actually it was just out, like a pin was just out of the dial, so I just put it back together. I will just do a gentle polish, like on all the indicators, the gold indicators and the hand a bit later on. Can press back the dial and secure it in position. And now I will put this ring around the mechanism. That's a ring again where we have the automatic winding system in position. Put a bit of oil again there. Not sure if I need to, but that's where we have the jewels from this winder there inside this groove. So I've just put a bit of oil. And yeah, you see it's turning there very nicely. Just secure it and put this screw to make sure the rotor stays in place. Do the same thing on the other side. We're gonna come and put it on top and basically like create this groove where we have this winding system turning inside. Okay, we just do a quick ultrasonic cleaning on the case because it was quite dirty. So I'll put down below a link for my ultrasonic machine, and as well I get a 5% discount if you want to buy this machine. So you will find again the information under the video in the description. Like I said, I will do a very quick polish, a nice polish on the hour, minute and second hand on this watch. Being like nice gold, need to be shiny. I will make the date jump. There, as mean it's midnight, so we're gonna set the hand to midnight for the hour, then the minute. Gonna press it in position. Just check. I like to have it like 5 minutes before or after. Yeah, it was just like 4 minutes. It just jumped 4 minutes before midnight, so that's fine. And put the second hand in position. I just changed the crystal. I put a new crystal with a gold ring inside like the original one, because the other one was very scratched. Could have polished it, but yeah, it was scratched quite deeply, so I decided to put a brand new one. So for this I use my press there to install the new crystal. And there we go. Wow, look at the difference that it does to the watch. Brand new crystal, a fully clean case. With beautiful R300 movement inside. Just play back. Here we go. And now, again, I will use my custom press from Eurotech. You will find the link down below in the description if you want to get one to close the case back. Perfect. And here is the watch. Look at it, it's so nice. Just checking the time. Shiny, a beautiful, elegant watch. So before we see the result on the watch, I would like to tell you that I have my own website where you can find some story about the channel. And actually this watch will be for sale on my website. So if you want to grab this watch, you can click just on the corner there. There is a nice reminder if you want to buy this watch. And you can send me as well your watch if you want me to service any of your watches. You can go there and contact me. I will be very happy to work on your watches. And here is the result. You see the amplitude, 265, which is quite nice. And the watch is just turning around 0 and -1, -2 seconds a day, which is very nice. Bit error could be a tiny bit lower. But that's fine. I like it to have it below 1, but 1.4 is not bad. And look at this beauty. That makes a very, very nice dress watch. So I hope you like this restoration on this Blancpain and its very strange movement inside. And I see you next time. Bye bye.